Hello everybody. Greetings everyone. Hello everybody. Oh, it's working. That was slick, wasn't it? That was slick. Hi Charlene, how are you doing? Had a good day? Greetings Dan. Mr. Lee Axel. Keith's here. How are you doing, Keith? It's quite clear on the screen today actually. Usually you can't see what's going on. That's good. It's always good. Oh, it's quite, just today I've started a new regime. I don't know whether some of you might know, some of you might not, but I'm a complete caffeine junkie. And today I've gone caffeine free. That's why I look like this. I'm a mess. No slurping. No, I think that's probably exactly what people want. So this is decaf tea, Twinings, if you must know. And I make it properly. It's just a cup of tea, isn't it? It's only really. I'm sure there is another way to make a cup of tea, but oh look at that! It's on display. It is a nice mug, isn't it? Any new people? Antonia, I don't think I've recognised your name. Welcome to the stream, Antonia. Rusty Podgers, do I know you? I don't recognise your name either. Let me see you. Tea first or milk first? What's proper? Well, obviously tea first. I say obviously, maybe it's not obvious. Yeah, you put your tea. Right, let's go through making a cup of tea. It's like one of those how to boil an egg things, isn't it? You put your tea bag in, and then you pour hot water onto the tea bag, and then you don't touch it. You just leave it to brew, and then you lift the tea bag out, and then if you want sugar, you have it. But I don't have sugar, and then put your milk in. Just a spot of milk. That's it. Easy. What's this about milk first? It's not right, that is it? I'm sure some people do it like that. Where are the cups printed? I don't really know. I've no idea. I think the mugs are done within Europe. They're double-sided. The camera won't focus. Oh, there we go. So it's got that on one side. Is there a debate about that? I mean, it shouldn't be up for debate that you just put your tea bag in, you pour water on it. You're still waiting for your mug? All right. I don't think they've come from the US. They've got a whole customer support team though, Spring and the fan club store place. So they should be able to handle everything if it hasn't arrived. I don't really know. Did it give you an estimated time of arrival? Oh, I do like coffee as well, actually. I usually actually drink coffee. I feel like in an evening I'm a bit more into tea, to be honest. I had a decaf coffee today. That was all right. Greg's did me a nice decaf coffee. Yeah. So today I've written a list. This is how organised I am. More than usual, which is, level 1, probably organisation. I've even got pens. Look at this. I've got pen and paper. So I've been thinking about YouTube. I feel like I've not even really begun to explore YouTube, but I've got lots of ideas. I've got lots of ideas in general, to be honest. But, oh, I know. I'd love to make a hop across the pond. We all would, actually. I'd speak on behalf of the band in that regard. We would all love to go to America. It'd be fab. Anyway, back to YouTube. That's what we can really do now. I'm quite kind of. I mean, I don't know whether I've said this before, and I think a lot of bands, have probably expressed sort of similar things, but it seems to be that like if you're in a band these days, that you've got to engage with social media and stuff. It's almost like that's like a necessity. Like if you want, because you're kind of fighting, aren't you? You're kind of fighting for the space. It's wonderful that you folks have even are you even kind of willing to come and have a chat here? I think it's fabulous. I mean, you could you could be doing any number of things, but you're here chatting, so it's cool. I really appreciate it. But like bands, they have to use social media because it's not even just like you're fighting against the whole recorded history of music. You're fighting against like every other band at the moment, and then in multiple platforms, algorithmic favorings, and not even just like whether someone wants to like go and play games or like watch Netflix. Yeah, it feels like please listen to my music is like quite a tough thing to do, and so like that's the kind of the idea of social media, but my my main problem is I don't really like social media. I don't know whether that's a secret or not, but I'm not a massive fan of social media. Here I am on YouTube, but I've thought about it quite a lot, particularly over the last 2 years, when we've had time to think about it, and I realised that for quite a long time, even before I was really on Facebook or anything, I've always enjoyed YouTube. I never even saw it as a social media platform. It's I kind of I found YouTube to be, thought it more as a video website, but obviously it's a lot more than that. You can think of YouTube as a search engine, can't you? And you can think of YouTube as a learning resources, or just it's a bunch of TV channels, however you want to think about it, really. But I've always enjoyed YouTube, and the past 2 years I've definitely watched more YouTube and interested in it. So I kind of want to as you've probably seen, I want to build the channel a little bit and kind of use it to, like I would with any other platform. I think that what I'm trying to say is that I'll be posting on Facebook and stuff, but I don't have like a deep passion about like coming up with a content strategy for Facebook and Instagram and stuff. And I'll do stuff, but I'm far more interested in putting something on YouTube that's going to stay there, that's slightly higher quality. If you put something on Instagram, you might put lots of effort in as well, and it's there and then it's gone, and you wonder how much, and you have to be so consistent with it over time, and it's just I'm kind of like, oh, sometimes I'm busier than other days. Do you know what I mean? YouTube's just a bit more like it's got more flexibility. Now, obviously, it is good that you can post. It's good if you post regularly. But anyway, I've got lots of YouTube ideas. I've written them down here, and I thought I'd go through them, see what you think. What I've done is I've put things into playlists because it's nice to be organised, isn't it? So I've gone through like little series. Um, so I'm going to go through my little series ideas and see what you think. That's pretty cool to for some of you saying, "Oh, I'm not really interested in social media either," and you don't do social media besides chatting here. But that's pretty cool. Um, well, yeah, and that's good. I mean, that's you're our target base. People who are on the internet to find music. That's they're the people we're interested in. Stan, Stan, I hope we do get to go to Norway. That'd be cool. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm kind of the same, to be honest. I don't use social media for anything other than the band or using YouTube as a musical resource like research or finding other music. That's about it, really. I'm kind of in the same boat as you. We're all kind of in the same boat. But anyway, I'm quite interested in using YouTube as a way of Kind of, I think it's got to serve social media. In my mind, serves two things, and that's why I want to kind of involve everyone because I feel like it's got two jobs. It needs to give you want to give something back to the people who are already fans, but then it's also got to be something where you are doing something that can hopefully reach future fans, reach people who become fans, and so that's kind of like the goal for creating content on social media. And I suppose with YouTube, I'm interested in kind of doing different things and some interesting and fun things, whereas people are going to be quite, I suppose, maybe kill two birds with one stone sometimes. I don't know really, but I've got lots of ideas. I thought I'd run through. The first series I've got is like that's a really straightforward playthrough series. You know, on the live streams, I kind of get the guitar out, play through the streams, play through the songs, and I thought it'd be nice to go through like a playthrough series. What I've thought of everything's kind of quite playlist focused because it works quite well because people binge content. If you do like 5 10 minute videos and you put like five in a playlist, a lot of people, if they like it, they binge it and stuff. But anyway, playlist series it says here. I've got the idea of doing like acoustic versions. So I've already done a bit of that. You can see already on the channel. You can see Archangel done as piano version, Freedom Battle. There's been at least two versions of that already. So like acoustic versions, and then kind of like the guitar playthroughs, but like better produced ones. Maybe try and get some tracks that haven't got guitars on, and play along to those ones. Drum playthroughs, um, and also kind of something that's a bit more. I don't know what everyone thinks about this because not everyone's a musician, but something that's a bit more lesson focused. So something that's kind of here's the riff to this song. This is how you play it. Here's the notes. This is how it goes. Here's the rhythm of this. This is how to play this guitar solo. I don't know what people think about that. Whether you're more people feel a bit more they'd like to see acoustic versions or guitar playthroughs or particularly drum playthroughs, or whether you're quite interested in the idea of like Witch Hazel lessons. Like here's how to play this song by Witch Hazel. I don't know what people think about that. Where's my brew? Oh, there it is. Put it down here. Eric's here. I think Eric might be interested in drum playthroughs. He's all about that. If everyone hasn't seen before, Eric's got his own YouTube channel, which he does drum playthroughs. You should all check it out. Yeah, I've got another series. This is the thing. So some of these are they might cross over. So I've got playthrough series, and then I've got a the story behind the songs series. I think everything would be nice. It was in little organized into series. I know I need to find some Witch Hazel tracks without the drums myself. But what are the songs? Oh yeah, so was it Brendan? Yeah, Brendan. Love to for you to pick songs apart and discuss how you wrote them riff by riff. So yeah, something maybe even in between the two, sort of. Here's how to play the song, or this is kind of how it fits together. I don't know. I could separate those, or I could kind of amalgamate them. This is the thing. This is quite ambitious. Some of this stuff. So on top of everything I'm doing, um, but the thing is, when I think about it, the social media is a must. And the thing you should always do the thing you're most interested in. That's why I'm playing Witch Hazel. It's like the most interesting music. I'm most passionate about that style. Whereas it comes to social media, I think what am I most interested in? YouTube is what I'm most fascinated by, most interested in. Like I can see myself making stuff. Whereas it almost, if I'm completely honest, feels a bit like a chore to say, right, I'm going to post on Facebook every day. I don't mind. I enjoy kind of the odd post, but that doesn't really work for the platform. If you've got a strategy, for example, a social media strategy, you have to post every day. That's just basically how it works. Whereas YouTube's a bit more like post every week. That's the ideal for YouTube. Um, but not always. You don't always have to. You know, it can still work. And the thing is, if you post on YouTube, you can then pull it across to the other platforms, can't you? You know. Well, this is that's a good idea, Keith. I like that idea. I'd have to see. Ed might not be up for it, to be honest, but he might be. I might be wrong. He might be interested in it. It would be cool. I agree. It would be actually really cool. I'm just reading all your comments, by the way. That's the silence. I'm just reading through. So Keith, yeah, it'd be cool to get Ed Turner in on a stream. That's if he was interested in or not. Be up to him. Um, Kev says Rift playthroughs are a good way to hook in learners. So yeah, some like yeah maybe Rift playthrough. Because the thing is, I can do shorts and stuff, 30-second videos where it's a little riff. I can do that, which is maybe even taken from a full video. Um, Lewis says stories behind the songs sound like a good idea. I'm quite interested in that. I thought that was an alright idea. Question. Modesto Garza. Question. I use your music in a YouTube. If I use your music in a YouTube info or another social media creative work for a channel, will you sue me? Or how do I credit? Or is that a no-go? Oh, so if you use Witch Hazel music in a YouTube video, I think that's what, it might be a typo. If you use Witch Hazel music in a YouTube video or on any social media platform, um, no one's going to sue you, basically, because it's a part kind of it's part licensed. I'm not actually gonna go into that too much. I mean, I could do videos going through music business stuff that I've learned over the years, but in the simplest way I can say is you're not gonna get sued. What happens is any adverts that get run on that video, the revenue just gets either shared or it goes to the band. So there's something called Content ID, which YouTube basically recognizes the digital footprint of a Witch Hazel song and searches the entire YouTube catalog instantaneously and finds all the Witch Hazel music that's in any video and then flags it and tells the YouTube creator that here's some copyrighted content. You can still post it, but your video is demonetized, and then the ad revenue doesn't go to the channel anymore. The ad revenue goes to um, the artist. So please, by all means, use our music. Don't feel like you're going to get sued. You're not going to get sued. And I speak on behalf of our record label as well, because they have a say in it as well, because they have a limited term to exploit the music in the form of records, and they have a say in the sound recordings as well. So I speak on behalf of the record label as well to say that you're not going to get sued. And the music, we digitally distribute the music, um, and the content ID system all works really quite well. Yeah, Eric, I would have sued Eric. Yeah, I mean, I look at that stuff, Kev. Yeah, reaction videos, things with the on the the clickable. The reason why people do that. Um, I don't know why people do reaction videos. I mean, uh, the reason why people do that, the thumbnails, is because they're clickable thumbnails. They want people to click on it. It's clickbait, isn't it? But it works out really well. I mean, if your thumbnail's boring, people are not going to click it and people are not going to see your video. And so if you think you've got good content, it's just a way of marketing your own video. So I kind of get why people do like 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 some of them are just like cheesy and obvious, but then at least you've remembered them. The fact that we're talking about the cheesy thumbnails shows that they've popped out. So I get that. I mean, I've watched lots of videos on YouTube videos on how people use YouTube to that extent, and Yeah, I mean, yeah, I could chat to Ed and see what he could even do a write up. I could read a statement, Ed's statement. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Oh, what 10 bands that influenced Witch Hazel's sound? That's a good. I might write that one down actually. I've thought about that. I put some bonus ones on this page. I should probably get back to the list, really, shouldn't I? 10 bands that influenced Witch Hazel's sound. Yeah, I know what you mean about burnout. I don't know who said that. Was it Dan? Yeah, the pace of weekly videos. I mean, the thing is, I'd have to just see where if I got into a routine with it. I mean, when I put my mind to things, I can be quite disciplined. Not always, um, but yeah. Where is the beard? Where are the women? Oh wait, this isn't Lord of the Rings. Chat. Hi Dino. I don't know where the women are, to be honest. No idea. Where's the caffeine? I've quit caffeine. I mentioned before, but for those of you who just joined us, us, me, I don't know who us is. Um, I've quit. I've not had any caffeine today, which is a big deal for me because I'm an absolute junkie, as in energy drinks, and it's just no good for you, is it? I don't have sugary energy drinks, but it's still like high caffeine, taurine, just knackering. It's really bad. I've built up a debt of fatigue. That's what all caffeine does is just tell you tell your brain, nope, you don't feel tired. Trust me, even though you're tired. No, you don't. That's all caffeine does. Yeah, I mean, it depends. I suppose I've done a few different videos on YouTube, um, and I don't mind it. I kind of quite enjoyed the editing process. I enjoyed putting it together, like being creative, I suppose. But it can be tedious if you really get into the edits. Um, it is a lot of work. Um, but I'd rather put the like if I'm going to do something, I'd rather do things properly. You see, so um, yeah. I mean, it might all just be a bit of a pipe dream, to be honest. Or if you know other bands or musicians that are on the same label as you, make a video of a Zoom call discussing music or whatever with them, and then post that as a video. It's like promoting both of you. That's a really good idea, Dan. Let's get you on the marketing team. I think Spell would probably be up for that. Does everyone know the band Spell? If not, you need to check the band Spell out. I really like that idea. This is why we're doing a live stream, folks. Any other ideas are just fully welcome. They might not all happen, but I like the idea. And that's quite easy content. I just sort of sit, like, do a virtual beer with a band, and then pop it on YouTube. Yeah, Spell are great. They've just finished recording. Well, no, they're not finished, actually. They're still recording, I think. So. They're coming towards the end of recording their latest album. But everyone knows that that's not the end, especially with the vinyl delays. I don't know how long it's going to be until that's done, but I'm still excited about it. Zoom call with bands. Doesn't even have to be on the same label, does it? Yeah, maybe a chat with friends in bands, Seven Sisters. Yeah, pop them down. I quite like that idea because then we can post it on each other's YouTube channels. And it's just it's one of those things like I really the more I look into it, the more it seems like a really good idea for bands to be on YouTube. I mean, it's like the basically you've got. I mean, I'm some people probably already know this, so apologies if I'm kind of laying something really obvious out that you already know. But I suppose I knew this a bit, but only really when it's all laid out for you, you're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. I kind of knew this before, but Google's the biggest search engine in the world, and the second biggest search engine in the world is YouTube, and YouTube's owned by Google. So, the advertising opportunities like Google Ads and all that. There's kind of quite a I'm kind of I think it's quite a good platform to promote your music and stuff. And you can do like good quality content. You can choose short. It's got short and long form content. It seems like quite a good idea. So yeah, that's basically why I still feel like I've not really begun. I'm doing these live streams, quite enjoying it. I don't mind talking to the camera. Um, and I'm quite interested in it. Also, the other idea I had was so I got the playthrough series and then like a gear series because I'm quite into that. I think you should do. I always feel like you should do things you're actually interested in. I'd definitely be interested in playthrough series, story behind the songs. So I think of doing it album by album, like go through the songs on Prelude as one video, and then Soja, and then Pentecost. My bonus idea was, if someone said they didn't like reaction videos, I was gonna do. I haven't listened to our old music in a very long time, actually, and I could do it reacting to our first releases. I could do that thumbnail that you hate as well, or just like my songwriting process. That's what I've written down as well. So how do I go about it? Maybe go into some more detail. Um, Also, a merch series. You know, go through each like current merch items, old merch, rarities. And could get Keith on a live stream. He'd know about merchandise. He's got everything. He's got more merch than me. Yeah, grab a phone and GoPro, record some videos with people backstage at a festival. I could interview. Yeah, if we're that's the thing. We need to kind of capitalize next time we do a gig. It's like interview all the fans. We need some content. It's that, isn't it? You just got to be organized. I'm in the mood to be more organized because I'm really not always. I'm not naturally organized. But it's all good ideas, you know. Eric's a fan of Google Ads. I experimented with Google Ads recently on our Witch Hazel YouTube channel, this channel. I experimented with I ran some ads, just ads about. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was. I ran a suggested video of our Spirit and Fire music video. Because if you spent so much, they give you £80 ad credit. So I did that. And we got kind of quite a few thousand views, people interested in it. Yeah, some people I've not so recognised, and I think, oh, some new people, some new eyeballs on that. I am actually also looking to get the watch hours up a little bit because it would be nice at some point because we meet all the requirements for monetization. So that would be a kind of nice little stream. I wouldn't mind that. It's fairly useful money, isn't it? So I wouldn't mind monetizing the channel. I don't think it's going to be like this massive thing. It's not going to blow up, but it's just a way of people finding. People do search like witch hazel or this style of music, so it's you want to be here, you want to be present. Um, Interviews. Keith's laughing. Kev says you could film while recording, kind of making of clips, band on tour, whatever that thing comes. Yeah, I was thinking that next time we're in the studio, which is this year, I'm going to be really. I mean, I find it so hard to be honest. Actually, whilst I like making YouTube videos, sometimes actually filming the content. Some people say like, oh, that's the easy thing, whereas sometimes when we're in the studio, I'm so focused on what we're doing. I'm not thinking, oh, we need to get a camera out. Some people just do it naturally. I don't think a lot of people do actually do it naturally. A lot of bands say the same thing, like, oh, it's hard. I've got to remember to do it, and it's like an extra job when you're already focused. It's really hard when you're in the studio to go like, oh, we need to take pictures, we need to take video. It's just remembering that. But yeah, I mean, I really would like to completely vlog the whole experience this time. Also, even though it sounds odd, you are really interesting to the average American because you were English. Lean into that. Americans are the biggest YouTube audience. There we go. Dan's full of ideas. Let's get Dan. Let's get Dan on the marketing team. He's got some good insights. There you go. Oh, I've heard about that. Like Americans having the fascination with English things. Like we're some these weirdos on this island. Morbid fascination. I'm, yeah, it would make sense that Americans are the biggest social media audience, full stop, from what I've heard. So like Facebook users, Instagram, everything. They're the biggest. They're just Americans absolutely lap up social media basically. So um, that's my impression anyway, from what I've heard multiple times. So that doesn't surprise me at all. Um, yeah. What else have I got on here? So yeah, the playthrough series, acoustic guitar playthroughs, drum playthroughs, riff and solo lessons, a merch series. We definitely need to get Keith on them. Keith needs to be involved in the merch series. I feel like that just has to happen. Gear series, amps and speakers, like video by video, like a playlist. So one on amps and speakers, guitars, pedals, and like a studio setup. So that place where I record all the demos and we rehearse. I could go through a full like, tour, like studio tour. It's not really a studio, but a makeshift studio. Yeah, story behind the songs. We said that. Yeah, I also quite interested in kind of going through because like sometimes I don't know whether anyone else feels like this. I'm a bit of an external processor. So when I'm talking through stuff, it's a little bit like thinking. Like talking through things is like thinking. So I like the idea of the songwriting process video because that will probably help me. Like solidify your thoughts a little bit. Keith, Americans love your streams because there isn't an advertising break every 4 minutes. Is there not? When I'm live streaming, is there adverts? I don't even know whether there is adverts on the live stream. I should imagine. I haven't even, this again. I haven't even had a dive into this stuff yet. The back end of our YouTube channel. I've done some stuff, but I haven't looked at how often we're running ads, or whether we're running ads at all. Probably are. I think we probably are. Oh, you've never seen an ad? There we go. I wouldn't have thought on the live stream there's many ads. It's not Twitch where you're forced to have one. Um, yeah. I don't know what it is with me. I'm just completely chaotic. It's just my personality. I had the tea there. I was like, that's where the tea's going. And then I looked around and couldn't find the tea. And then it was like, oh, it's down here. And now I looked around again, like, where have I put it? I put it in 3 different places. Just I'm like trying to throw myself off. No ads during yours. Could be if you watch it back later. No ads. What about the other videos on the channel? Is there any ads? I haven't checked whether we're running ads. Maybe we haven't. We're not monetized, so I don't really want the ads there. To be honest, there's no point wasting your time. But obviously, as the channel grows, which I hope it does, which it kind of is at a snail's pace, it is growing. I am encouraging people. Oh, I forgot about this too. This is really slick. This 1 second. To do this, I can't even get it right. There it is. This thing. If you can do, if anyone's here and they haven't liked and subscribed, blah blah blah, please do that. Oh yeah, and click that little notification bell. We all know at this stage that's what everyone wants you to do. So you want to help build the channel before I've even really started posting much stuff. I mean, there is some stuff. We have posted stuff on the channel. I'm also trying to get some lyric videos done of all the Pentecost songs, but like I want to get them done a lot better than the last 2 sets, which means we've got to get a different person involved and we've got to work out how it cannot cost too much. Because I got someone on Fiverr to do the Freedom Bath, no, Pentecost videos and the Sojourn videos. It's the same person who did that. It was quite funny because after he'd done the job, he was like, "I really like this music," and he's like on the Witch Hazel fans page, the guy who did all the lyric videos, but he did it very cheaply. Um, just being on Fiverr, I found someone who would do 10 videos very cheaply. Whereas if we want them to be all a bit different and quite high quality, then it's going to cost a lot more money. But I'd rather they were higher quality. And we get a lot with them being in a playlist. There's obviously people that are listening through an entire album, learning the lyrics, because people keep coming back to those. Or maybe they're not. Maybe just lots of new eyeballs are watching the lyric videos. Um, by the way, there's a Witch Hazel fan club I've just seen in the chat here. Fan club. You can. Here's the link, and it's there. I don't know whether it's clickable. If you do gear videos, also review some gear that you may not necessarily use for Witch Hazel. Yeah, I could do that. I suppose I don't really have much gear that I don't use for Witch Hazel. Oh, I do have my worship. Have I talked about my worship board? It's at church at the moment, actually. I just leave it at church for people to use. Um, it's got all like ambient guitar effects for all the heavenly sounds. I could go into my worship board. I could do that actually. That's probably a niche. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm really into gear and stuff. So can I get a good Witch Hazel sound from a Boss Metal Zone? I like that idea. Apparently Andy's got one. I heard about this off Luke, I think it was. So I need to. I'm going to write that video down. That's a good idea. That. Another one of Dan's. Cheers. Anyone else? Throw the ideas out. I'm just going to write them down. He's already written the title for me. Can you give me a thumbnail as well, Dan? Like the Boss Metal Zone on my head. I like that actually. By the way, if you don't know what a Boss Metal Zone is an infamous guitar pedal, which is it's like a distortion pedal, and you can make it sound very, very nasty. A lot of black metal bands use it. I am not a good cook at all, actually. I mean, I'm good at making like steak, burgers, and like cooked breakfast, anything meat. I say good, passable. Yeah, I need to get a little bit better. I have a makeshift Photoshop. Boss Metal Zone. I like that idea. I don't know why, but like I'm more like sniffy again. I was absolutely fine. I wonder whether it's this room. It's like I probably need. I dusted this room though, not long ago. It might be when next to the fire. So I wonder whether it's like the ash from the fire or something. I've been like this before, haven't I? In a live stream, all like sniffing stuff. I was absolutely fine, and now I'm like sniffing. Oh dear me. A tea somewhere else. The chaotic tea. Yeah, yeah. Basically, Chris, I'm not really a good cook. My wife's a good cook, so I make a good team. She cooks it and I eat it, unless it's steak, and then I step up. Not really. Yeah, I mean, I can make basic foods. I mean, I can make a spag bol to an okay standard. You know, just basic meals. I can make stuff. Well, we could do it together. Cooking with Faye. I think she'd probably like that. Our kitchen's all right. I don't think it really matters the quality of your. I was thinking like, oh, it has to be all nice. This is something I've been thinking about a lot. A lot of when I've spoken to bands and then also a record label a little bit, there's just this weirdness about how you present yourself. So I've left this on, just realised to turn it off. That thing was still there, the little subscribe thing. But a lot of the time, particularly the Instagram sort of feel, is that people present the best parts of their life and they present this image that this is how they live. And we all know that's not really reality. And I suppose, but then you also want, as a band, you think, well, we want to present ourselves professionally. We want like people to have a certain vibe for the band. But then I'm kind of like, but what about the authenticity? I'm all about that. And that's partly why I do live streams and stuff, is because it's just a bit, nothing's produced. Try and make it look nice, but it's not really that important. Um, yeah, I mean, but I suppose it's like, what does everyone think? Because on one hand, people respect rawness and authenticity. On the other hand, you want to present a professional, slick, and a certain vibe to attract people to the music, because it's still a fashion show, rock and roll, isn't it? Still. So I don't know really. It's what do people feel about that? Because I'm kind of a bit like, I actually prefer doing stuff. It's less effort as well to just be like, "Hi, this is me. This is who I am," rather than, "Oh, we've got to dress up for a video." Do you know what I mean? Just just rock up. Well, that's the thing. That's how I feel, Kev, as well. Whereas sometimes people are, "Oh, you don't want to spoil the mystique." I've heard people say, "Oh, you don't want to spoil the mystique of Witch Hazel, that it's this." People think this, they have, people romanticize bands. I've heard this. This is the train of thought, is that you don't want to ruin the mystique, and people romanticize bands, and they think that they all get together and listen to records together and drink real ale, and then they come up with ideas, and someone gets a lute out and then comes up with a Witch Hazel song. Whereas the reality is I'm in a shirt and smart pants in between teaching lessons in primary schools in a car park coming up with a riff. That's the reality. So it's that's the reality of the band. If that ruins the mystique, well, it's like, well, that's just what it is. Do you know what I mean? I don't know whether is there any value in trying to hold on to a certain image for the sake of it. But then, like Kev said, people can spot stuff a mile off. So I don't know really. It's an odd one, but I'm definitely lean more towards being authentic. Um, Obviously, you want to present, like, that's why you do a music video. Like that, the music video for me is the perfect example. You present the band in the way that you want to present. Like, this is how we want to be seen. This is our image and the style. This is how we want to project ourselves, and everything's there together. Whereas I feel like regular social media content, people want to see behind the scenes. Surely, they want to peel back the curtain, and are they going to be disappointed when they peel behind the curtain? The fans who watch you already will, no matter, but people who don't know you will skip over a video that doesn't seem polished. There are ways to do that without dressing up or spending a lot. There we go. So Dan's sort of recognising both. Chris Delgrand, you need to walk around with a sword in hand. Yeah, I don't know. It's funny, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. I mean, the live streams are not something that really builds the YouTube channel. The live and so for me, the live streams are a bit more raw. It's just I'm just here. I put this t-shirt on. That's about it. I set up the camera and make the room look. Everything behind the camera is a mess. let's peel back the curtain. No, no, it's not. Just a disaster. But try and get like a nice shot of the corner. Just this corner of the room is tidy. It's just disaster behind it. But yeah, live streams are more of an opportunity to be just real. Whereas, yeah, I think sometimes you do like, why not polish your videos? It's a funny one. But then it's kind of like, do I do something? I mean, for example, the most extreme example would be me in my work clothes talking in the car. Do you know what I mean? That doesn't feel very witch hazily. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's the reality of me day to day. I work full time and I try and fit stuff in between my job. And that's kind of, people talk about documenting. You do what you already do, but document it. Sometimes I feel like, do people want to see this? Do you see what I'm saying? It's an odd one. I've been thinking about it a little bit, and I think, oh, should I try and present it a bit more witch hazily? Because we've gone for this style. It's hard to keep up. Do you know what I mean? Jamie, yo, Colin, I haven't been able to watch the streams in a while. Any updates on new Witch Hazel music? Also, any thoughts on a band live stream? I'd pay to see that. There's no current plans to do a band live stream. Um, I was thinking about doing some streaming at a practice in February, but we'll have to see. We might do. I don't really know. It's I need to get a bit organised. If I'm completely honest, talking about being real, I'm not very organised in that regard. I need to plan rehearsals and work out when our next gig is because I can't even tell you. I don't even know when our next gig is. We had the Greece show cancelled, Athens. We were going to play. We were like waiting and waiting, and then it got cancelled. I think it might end up being moved. Um, but new Witch Hazel music. Lots of new Witch Hazel music. There's going to be some old music and some new music released this year, within the next few months. Just like a single, and some old stuff. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm contractually obliged to say. Um, New music has been written all the time, and we're going into the studio this year to record new music, a full album. So this year is going to be the next 6 months. Is going to be us, yeah, next 6 months basically is going to be us rehearsing new Witch Hazel music. So there, it's all happening. I mean, I'm not really slowing down. Um, it, but I know what things are like. There's new stuff. I say new stuff, new single, and some old stuff as a re-release, and some stuff being recorded. But with the only thing is, it's with the vinyl delays, I'm not sure that the album and a full Witch Hazel album is really likely to come out this year. To be honest, it does take long, yeah. But yeah, I'm also like, oh, it takes long anyway. And then there's the delay on records, and it's like, oh, I kind of I'm hoping for some solutions, really, because they're talking about like 8 months, like delay on pressing vinyl, which is just mental, really. So I don't want to think about it. Yeah, my camera does 50 frames per second. I don't even know whether I have the settings set up right on this, to be honest. I think when I filmed, if you look at our channel trailer video, I had the settings sorted there. That looks like a higher quality. Also, the autofocus is quite good. It does quite good face. It's a Sony camera, this. I don't know what it is. Sony something. But lighting's obviously very important, as you pointed out, Dan. Yeah, it's like a nice set, isn't it? Like something I need to be something that's a bit more further in the background, so it's all nice and maybe even a flag on the wall. I don't know. I mean, long term, again, like people feel free to join the fan club because long term, I want like a my own space really, which is a bit ambitious, but obviously that requires some ongoing money for rent and things like that. Trying to find a space where we can record and do videos and there's no noise problems and has heating and water and Wi-Fi is quite ambitious, but that'll be cool. Um, Witch Hazel 4, yeah, Witch Hazel 4 being recorded this year. You heard it here first. No rush. Yeah, oh, I heard that. Record store day is backfiring, causing the huge acts to occupy vinyl manufacturing capacity. That and Adele. Well, yeah, I mean, because the big labels can afford to print a million Adele records, which they won't sell straight away. They'll sell over the next 10 years. But it's so much cheaper for them to print a million per unit that's like, oh, let's do it because they can afford to do it. So there you go. I wonder whether she gets the because there's two deals you can get. You can get a deal where you get your mechanical royalties, which is as a songwriter or a lyricist or both. You get your royalties from when a record is put when your music is put onto physical format. So you can get mechanical royalties on CDs and records and things like that. You also get it digital now, actually. Um, I wonder whether you can get two deals where you get your money when when the music is manufactured, whether it sells or not, and then another deal when you only get your royalties when those records are sold. I just wonder whether Adele's getting that money when it's been manufactured. Can you imagine the royalties of a million records? Right, they've been pressed. Here's your royalties. You get them straight away. I'm on the better deal, whereas when stuff gets pressed, the old school proper deal, as soon as it gets manufactured, you get your royalties, whether it sells or not. Lucky for us, it sells as well, which is nice. But yeah, record store day, Adele and big acts, old albums being, yeah, basically record store day style stuff throughout the year now. It's a shame. We need more we need more pressing plants and the whole host of problems. It's all like old machinery and stuff that they still use. Um, yeah, I don't want to dwell too much on that. Try not to think about it. My tea's a bit tepid now, really. No, it's just cold now. Anyway, I've actually got some cool ideas. Quite a few. And the thing is, like, in all likelihood, maybe I can just do a video once a month, like a good video once a month. Ideally, I like to get to the stage where I'm doing a video once a week. Greetings, Luke. How are you doing? We've been chatting about content, social media content, specifically me saying that YouTube's my favourite social media. I never even really see it as social media, and social media is not really something that I'm a massive fan of anyway. But I like YouTube, and we've got a list of things into categories, into playlists. So we've been very organised. Dan's come up with most of the second page. How are you, Luke? Are you good? We're all good. We're all hanging in there. Where's my job? Everyone's on YouTube, aren't they? As soon as my Restream license runs out, or whatever it is, I'll be just exclusively streaming on YouTube, not Facebook. Just a heads up for everyone. Just a bit tired, not gonna lie. What are you tired from, Luke? I've quit caffeine today, so I just feel like a bit of a mess, to be honest. I'm probably in a similar boat. No caffeine whatsoever, which is a big deal for me. Had a horrible headache before. It's withdrawal symptoms. What have you been up to? Have you considered writing in your spare time? Do you read books? Um, I've considered. The thing is, I've considered is writing like a witch hazel history, a bit more of like lots of pictures and more of a documented, a brief history of witch hazel, and having that as a something that people can buy. But I'm not really interested in. I'm more interested in like poetry than um, full books. I also don't read. I also don't. This is going to seem a bit silly, but bear with me. I find that a lot of books, it feels a bit like they've inflated what they could have said in a very short space of time. They've inflated it just to please the publisher, to put into like, they could have said in their 50,000 words or whatever. They could have said it in like 1,000. They could have just done a blog post. It feels a bit like books can be a bit of a waste of time. I know they're not always a waste of time, but you see what I kind of have limited time and I'm very music focused, so I don't read a whole lot of books anymore. Um, the last book I read, oh gosh, it's a long time ago. I don't even know. What was the book? I can't remember. I'm trying to picture the book in my mind. I can see the front cover. No, oh, John Ronson, The Psychopath Test was the last book I read, I think. I can't even remember anyway. So Luke walked around the Trough of Bowland for a while, then cleaned the whole house. Yeah, I bet you're a bit tired. Now I have an impending food coma. Dan, I quit caffeine a long time ago. The key is drink a lot of water and it lessens the headaches you get in your first week or two. Noted. I've been drinking. So it's not just tea and coffee. I'm like addicted to Pepsi and like Coke and energy drink, all knockoff stuff. I just drink the Aldi stuff. Um, so I've been drinking like sparkling water. I know doesn't. It looks like I've needed the toilet. um, but no, this is peach. It's got peach cordial in it. But yeah, so I'm drinking fizzy water because I'm just like I need the fizz. I'm addicted to the fizz, and then I'll have to go just fizzy water and then water. I have to do it in stages. I can't like just completely because I'm going back to eating carbs. It's just like I find this stuff so difficult. It's like dopamine triggers, isn't it? Like caffeine or sugar or like on high calorie foods. It's all big dopamine floods. Like it's just really addictive. So I find it personally, I'm like good on you if you find it easy, but I find it really hard to give up certain things. So I'm letting myself have sandwiches again. I'm trying to eat whole meal, um, and I'm giving up caffeine. We'll see how it goes. You could do a fanzine type mini book, reasonably cheap, and do a pre-order. Yeah, fanzine. What do you think? Yeah, I've seen those actually. That would be cool actually. Um, yeah, Dan. Some people think that the best writing is the most writing. Yeah, this is the thing. Like some books. If a book was like this thin, people are like, oh no, that's probably not a very good book. It's not thick enough. It's like you could have just condensed it. I don't know. Anyway, it says British sparkling water. Does it? What does it say? Sparkling. British Spring Water by Sainsbury's with sparkling. Okay, sorry not as involved tonight. Folks have visited unexpectedly and my youngest is showing them an Xbox game. My eldest is practicing electric guitar. Good on him. You don't have to be. You don't have to apologise, Keith, because your family are there. Like, go and spend time with your family. I'll be here next week. Perrier. What's Perrier? Dino says the best books I've read are 150 pages long. Yeah, I mean, I actually quite like those. I've read some books, a lot like I used to read a lot more Christian books, and some of them were like just little, almost pamphlet, like really just books you'll actually read. I think was one of the series. Yeah, I couldn't really comment on Margaret Atwood personally. I've not read any. Um, I feel like reading's a bit more of a like it's a pleasurable thing, like a so it's nice to just kind of take your time over a book sometimes. But I'm a bit more like go go go, like let's make stuff happen. I want to do this. I want to make YouTube videos whilst writing an album, whilst doing a full-time job and running multiple businesses, and I want to just get stuff happen. So I haven't really like got time on my schedule to sit and read a leisurely book. Posh fizzy water, yeah, with peach. Well, yeah, if you're forced to read, that's the thing. You should read for pleasure, like especially novels, for example. Oh dear, I'm being completely honest, folks. I feel like a complete mess today. Just coming off caffeine was probably not the best idea. A live stream day. It feels both freeing and horrendous at the same time. It's a very strange mix. Whereas I usually be like reliant on the caffeine. I have crippling dyslexia, and honestly, a toddler can read faster than me. I did it one of those online tests, and I have mild dyslexia. I always read ahead and say the word before it's there. It's just like even when I'm reading children's books, I even did it tonight, reading my little girl a story. And I'm reading the rhyme of the next line before. It's like, oh, come on. I don't know whether it's just the caffeine, but I do that quite a lot. It takes forever to process information when reading, and yet here I am doing humanities. What is humanities? Humanities. What's that? What's that entail as a subject? Yeah, I would agree with Andy actually. It's quite nice if you're on holiday and you're like, just that's quite a nice time to just sit and read a book. Actually, that's the time when I would. I just haven't been on holiday for I don't know. When was the last time we went on holiday? Faye? You know, like abroad. I don't know. We went to Turkey before we had kids. I can't remember when we've been on holiday last. A long time. It seems posh, but it's cheap. Perrier. Okay. Posh fizzy water. All right. Prefer to spend my time listening to music. Yeah, I'm a bit more like that. Well, Luke, that's really cool. What's really cool? I read that sarcastically. Humanities. I use humanities as a broad term. Abroad, 2015 was last time we went on holiday. Oh, and we're in Orlando, so there's no time to read. Humanities would studying the Renaissance isn't one example. Isn't that history? Oh, history is a humanity. Right, okay. Yeah. So humanity is a broad term, and it could be multiple things. I don't know. I'm out of the education system. I say I'm out of the education system. I'm back in it as a teacher. But like higher education, it's all gone. Like, see you in a bit. David, hi Colin. Hi everyone. Have you heard of Tim's listening parties on Twitter? Would be cool if Witch Hazel could do one of these. I haven't heard of Tim's listening parties. And people have talked about this. I kind of, it sounds like oh, come to a listening party or when you do an album, but then I'm trying to think like but how does that work? I don't know whether I'm misunderstood the whole idea. So you stream the music and we're listening. You're listening to the music at the same time I'm listening to the music, and then are we chatting over the music? Because that would annoy me. I don't. No, everyone quiet. I don't know. I'm just gonna sit there like just taking it in silence. I listen to a lot of music in silence. Either that or I sing along. Don't talk over the music. Do you know what I mean? Like some people, if I'm talking, also at the other side, if we're doing a listening party and then I talk and someone says, "Why do you talk over that bit?" Do you know what I mean? Tim Burgess from the Charlatans, a band tweet interesting facts about each track. It's quite good. Luke says it's painful getting through all the reading I have to do. I bet you have to do with history. Gosh. Oh, politics is humanity. Oh, so why don't you just say you're doing politics? Oh, I suppose you were saying like humanities, you need to do a lot of reading. Reading is a hobby. Not everyone is like my mother. A 1,000 pages reading monster. Yeah, it's. I mean, it'd be great to have more time to read. It depends what you're reading for. Um, some people, like self-help books and stuff. I generally think that stuff is just a no-go. I mean, that sounds like a bit of a broad statement, but people who are doing self-help are making money in self-help. So they could probably say something really concise, but they're going to put it in a video and inflate it, aren't they? With like, oh, it's a story about how rich I am. So it depends like what the category is. On some people, again, maybe they could have just said it. I'm interested in like, I don't know, books that are actually quite useful. Unless, although I quite like the John Ronson stuff. That's quite interesting. A bit more like a documentary sort of. Quite interesting actually. That's quite good. So yeah, I'm a bit more. I'd rather read a story. Um, you're not the best at maths either. Yeah, well, I don't think I'm amazing at maths either, to be honest. I mean, it feels like in school, I did quite well in music. And everything else was just a bit like boop down here compared to it. Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, school. This is the thing. Like seeing a bit education system. Gosh, I really didn't enjoy school. Not. I mean, like you say, Luke. I'm not very academic at all. I just want to play music. That's all. And that's kind of what I did in high school, to be honest. Played music, and then I just carried on. The academia can do one. Oh, I tell you what, it's now it's just I don't know. I just feel like going through high school and then higher education, getting a degree. When that all stopped, it was like it just felt like freedom. It was like a sigh of relief finishing education system. It's just great. Loved it. Gosh, starts and finishes a novel a few times a week. Gosh, that is mad. Some people are monsters, aren't they? Monster readers. They just like devour books so fast. And yeah, it's just I'm a bit of a slow reader actually. It's the mild dyslexia apparently. I think my back hurts a bit. Should probably get a cushion or something. I did a few streams ago. I did like pull the cushions. It doesn't really work. Oh dear me. There you go. Well, I've got lots of ideas here. I can put it all into. That's one of my ideas. Is it written down here? No, it's not written down here. But yeah, I had some. So what do people think about a? I was thinking of a brief history, like turn it into like a quite a nice book. I mean, I suppose something a bit like this. It could have my face on it, even still. Maybe not. Like a band biography. It'd be a bit of work to put in, but then it's something we could like sell, then, isn't it? I suppose. Um, I also thought we could sell. Some people don't collect the physical, which is fair enough. I mean, some people they're like, well, I pay for my Spotify premium. I stream music. I still support the band, buy T-shirts, go to the shows. But some people don't have CDs and records, and I think that's personally, from my perspective, I think that's perfectly fine. I don't think people have to buy the records. Not everyone has to be like Keith. What I'm saying is that some people, they listen to it, and it'd be nice for them to have lyrics, and part that's part of my thoughts behind the lyric videos. But I also thought it'd be nice to put together some quite like hymn sheet style lyrics that people can like download as a digital PDF. So when they stream and they go onto witchhazel.com, you can like buy it for I don't know £2 or something. Again, I'm just sort of thinking of things that I can put lots of work in once, and then it kind of can be sold or whatever. It's a bit like creating music that can be streamed or bought again and again, or a book that can be bought again and again, or the lyrics that can be downloaded, or whatever. It feels like it makes sense. Like you put lots of effort into creating something, and that's a bit like the YouTube thing. If you do a video that, I mean, I heard from one of these people who worked for YouTube on this video conference thing. He was talking about most of the views don't come in for loads of these videos, not even in the first week or month, but after a year, some of these videos start climbing. And you think, you could do a video, and like in a year's time, you could be. I mean, it's actually been a bit like that with our lyric videos. As the perfect example. I put the videos on, and I was like, oh, there's 100 views on the first, and it's fairly consistent, moving down towards like 20, 30 views on the last lyric video of the playlist. But now I look, it's got thousands of views on some of these lyric videos, and I think you create something once and then it gets used over and over again. I feel like that makes a lot of sense. Do you know what I mean? And that's if you enjoy the process of creating, that's kind of a win-win for everyone. If you do a fanzine book about witch hazel history, do a series of videos covering what's in it. Yeah, there we go. So this is the thing that could all tie in, couldn't it? Every video kneels and prays to the YouTube algorithm, or however you spell it. You spelled it right, didn't you? Is it? I don't know. I don't know how to spell either, to be honest, Luke. So don't ask me how to spell. Yeah, no, but I just think, for example, I mean, I was thinking about the other day. I could put together like a nice fancy guitar video, and then put it on Instagram TV, and it'd be there and just gone. I put it on YouTube, and as the band increases slowly in popularity, that video might go along with it. And you think, well, that's part of your watch hours. I could end up actually monetizing the channel, which is something I never thought, you know, would be possible. Not that like monetization's the primary goal, but it feels like that'd be a cool thing to do as well, wouldn't it? So yeah, that's kind of my general thoughts around it. It would be like it's like a little icing on the cake, isn't it? Like I suppose, I mean, most musicians will say this from my experience, is that if we didn't get paid for what we were doing, we'd still do it. It's like the money's like just really useful, as we all know. It's just obvious, isn't it? I suppose, but it's like the icing on the cake where you can be like, oh, here's a revenue stream that I didn't think I could possibly have. It feels like that'd be pretty cool, and I'm quite interested in the YouTube thing as something that grows with time. Musicians are weird. We would just do it if we didn't get paid. And some musicians are so, yeah, we are irrational. Some musicians are like, oh, I don't want to be paid. Sometimes I'm not like that. I've got bills to pay. There you go. Well, this is the thing. I mean, we're growing in subscribers, and it's heading in the right direction. But again, like this is the groundwork for seeing. The thing is, a lot of people, a lot of the I've kind of watched YouTube videos on how to grow a YouTube channel and things like that. A lot of the time, we have these are all good ideas, and it's about just coming up with the ideas and seeing what sticks. Like just going through all the videos and seeing if you can get traffic from elsewhere. Um, oh, I know. We all want to get paid. Like, of course we do. Um, although it just seems like sometimes in music, people are like, "Oh, you've sold out," and I'm like, "Just go home. We all got bills to pay. We all want to do something that we enjoy. It just makes sense." Yeah, exactly. Yeah, come up with the ideas, seeing what sticks, and then double down on that idea is the apparent strategy. So you're like, oh, when I did story behind the songs, for example, or maybe Dan's idea of Zoom calls with bands, I could just be the guy that does Zoom calls with other bands, and then that's what sticks, and then we all grow each other's, online presence. Maybe that would be cool, or whatever. Or I do Metal Zone variant. I do a Metal Zone series, and that's what sticks. Who knows? But I'm a bit quite interested in it. Quite excited about it. And we'll just see how much I get done. I could, if I put my mind to it, I could probably get into a routine with this. But yeah, but it's kind of like I'm still writing the music. It's still kind of a regular thing. At the same time, you've got to have an online presence, and I want to kind of base that in YouTube. And you can see that on the channel trailer. It's the home of all things Witch Hazel, long form, short form content. It's all here. Like and subscribe, all that sort of business. This little thing here. Everyone's got one of these. I just nicked this one off Google Images. There you go. Pressing the button. Press subscribe. Anyone who hasn't subscribed, do it now. Just go on, just do it now. Get a Boss HM2 or a Metal Zone. Turn all of the knobs up to max and see what Witch Hazel would sound like. Well, this was Dan's idea. Dan said he had an idea for a YouTube title because thumbnails and titles are quite useful. Some of the most important parts of a YouTube video, apparently. And Dan's idea was, can I get a good sound from a good Witch Hazel sound from a Boss Metal Zone? That was his idea. It's a similar idea. It's like I could probably, I think probably like Burzum. Yeah, I think Alex did some like Freedom Battle on Instagram. You can go to A String Man on Instagram. I'm pretty sure if you scroll down, you can probably find that. He did something like that. At the time, I was like, oh gosh, this is very different. But I actually think it's a bit funny. Let's find it. How do you find? Oh, there we go. A String man. Oh, come on. There we go. There he is. So he's done some very interesting things. See if I can find it. No, it's not that. Alex has got potential to do some cool stuff, I think. Nope. Let's find it. I'm pretty sure I remember him doing something like this. Go find it now. Maybe it was a story. Maybe that's why I can't find it. Yeah, I can't find it anyway. Maybe it was a story or something. But he did Freedom Battle on like one of those 8-string guitars. It's not really my cup of tea, but it's interesting to hear, isn't it? Like some people might not like banjos, but he did the um what song? Something about fighting. Everything's about fighting, isn't it? With Witch Hazel. Still we fight. He did that on banjo. Still we banjo. I think he called the file when he sent it to me. Alex the String Man. Do you know? I was having a conversation with a guy who I sort of do. I mean, we loosely call them guitar lessons, but we kind of like mess around all the time. We were going through like Witch Hazel stuff, and he was like, "How do you do this rhythm? Like, how do you play the rhythms like this? When you really get into some Witch Hazel songs, the rhythms can be quite syncopated." And I was like, "I don't know, I've not really thought about it, but I was like, it's quite easy as a drummer if you've got like a 4 on the floor and you can play something syncopated in the hands, you just learn to do that all the time. And so when you go into guitar, you've already got that stuff sorted." And I was like, oh gosh, Alex doesn't play drums, but he manages this stuff quite easily. So it obviously shows that he's got obviously quite a good. He's got a good sense of rhythm. You know, it obviously shows like he's a. That's why he's in the band because he can obviously play guitar. He's obviously a very good guitarist, isn't he? But he does pick up stuff quite fast, which is really nice because it hasn't always been like that, and I haven't always been in situations where people can pick things up fast. And sometimes it's been like, oh, this is taking ages, or I need the tab or something. Whereas Alex just watches me and then just picks it up by ear or by watching and or a bit of both, and he can get the rhythms. And it's yeah, you do like what if you play drums and then you play guitar. None of that stuff's an issue. It's more like notes and speed and shapes and things. Whereas I just think if you haven't played drums, you play guitar. The rhythm is the syncopation. Do you know what I mean? Like something's 4 on the floor, boom, 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 something like that. And then you're trying to do that on guitar. If you haven't played drums, that's like you've got to do that and the guitar playing. I don't know if that makes sense. But anyway, Alex can just he does like fingerstyle guitar. You know, understands the rhythmic things. So the guy can play. But it's really nice actually having him in the band because he just picks stuff up. It's really useful. Yeah, well, you can work on that though, can't you? I mean, I have a bit of an unusual ear. My ear can be really good in some ways, and then just really useless in other ways where I need to. Where yeah, sometimes I'm like, "Oh, I can't hear that, and then other people who not even musicians can then hear stuff, and I'm like, I'm listening to something else. Um, it is useful for people to actually show you, to be honest. I mean, if sometimes you listen to a recording, you're like, I can't pick it out. Some stuff I can. I mean, I can pick a key straight away. Like, if, oh, there we go. Ooh, there it is. I can hear and then work it out quite quickly. You can hear if it's in a major or minor key, and then use those keys. I do that stuff fairly, but that's quite basic, I suppose. Yeah, fast stuff, fast guitar playing. I'm like, oh, what's that group of notes there? I can't always pick out like I'm like, is that the scale? Is there a missed out note in the scale? I can't always hear that stuff. And you can train. You can train at that. Well, Dino's learning both drums and guitar. A bit of advice, if you want to hear it, is double down on the drums first and then learn guitar, because then your coordination and independence and rhythmic understanding is all done, and then you're just learning guitar. That would be my advice. I did it that way around. I learnt drums first and then played guitar, and it made the guitar so much easier to pick up. I picked up very fast. I only started when I was 15 on guitar. I say that. It's 15 years ago. I'm going to call it a day soon, folks, as I've got to make my sandwich for tomorrow and get an early night because I'm up early. But it's been some good ideas. Special thanks to Dan, because I've got some ideas I never thought. Any other ideas before I go in the next few minutes? Feel free to post the ideas, or if you think of anything, pop it on the Witch Hazel fans, or leave us a comment on YouTube community tab, or anywhere else you are, like if you're on Instagram predominantly, or on our coffee page. Please, if you've not ever even looked at this, have a look. It's on the thingy now. Have a look at the fan club and tip link, and feel free to donate or join the fan club, or just have a look and see what it's all about. You can leave comments on that. You can leave comments anywhere you like, whatever you preferred. Like, I've set things up so people can just use their preferred platform, because I know people some people just prefer Facebook or prefer Luke. Do you know Witch Hazel is a fan club? Yeah, it does, because money's useful. It's actually really useful. It means I can do 1 day a week, which is a bit of a dream come true. So how about two? Gosh, I'm looking at myself on screen now and I just look really tired. Where's the caffeine gone? Give me it back. But yeah, no, it is really useful to have the fan club, because I'm yeah, I'm doubling down on things. It's also, going about how the practical use of money. I don't really kind of mind. Some people, particularly English people, were a bit funny about like talking about money, but I don't really mind talking about it, because I just feel like there's no need to be weird about it, and especially not no need to feel weird about making money out of music. Um, because I don't feel like people have a hard time making money out of music, from my experience, the people I've spoken to. So like it's something that we should try and get behind if we can. So yeah, I don't really have any issues talking about money and stuff. But when it comes to the fan club and stuff, it's not just the practicalities of the money, being able to finance and support things, and me to say, actually, can I move towards moving to this studio, like have a studio here? Can I move towards more time? Can I do 2 days a week rather than 1 day a week? I can just strategically plan how I can ramp up everything I'm doing with Witch Hazel. I can, it's the time, not just the money. But again, it's all practical. But more than that, whenever I kind of get the donations coming through and the fan club money coming through, it's also like an encouragement. So I don't know if anyone else has been in the situation, but when you start to get paid for doing something that you're passionate about, it's quite affirming. It's quite encouraging. So it's not even just the practicalities of being in finance. It's actually a very encouraging thing. And to see it grow, it's like, oh wow, this is really encouraging. Um, but yeah, anyway. Yeah, we don't tend to talk about money, do we? I guess it's more to do with how much I earn is no one else's business. Yeah, I suppose some people. I mean, I fully support someone to say, "Oh, well, it's no one's business." Whereas I'm a bit more like, I don't mind. being open about how much I earn, especially as it's not very much. But then at the same time, let's say I was earning like £1 million every year. If I was earning £1 million every year, I would like to think that I would be able to be open about that, because I actually don't think there's anything wrong with earning £1 million a year. And then that again, it's like, well, people might have a question. Well, what do you do with that money? That goes back to your. In some ways, it is no one else's business, but then we should be able to talk about it. There shouldn't be anything wrong. But anyway, if you're a rocker and you make money till you've sold out, make money, you've sold out. If you're a rapper, you haven't made it till you've sold out. Yeah. Greetings from Italy. Hello, Christian. How are you doing? I'm about to go, I'm afraid, if you've just got here. I don't know whether you have just got here or not. Some people have. Some people haven't just. Like it happened last time. Someone said, "Oh, I've been here for half an hour." I was like, "Oh, sorry, I'm going," but I am actually going. But yeah, musicians don't really get paid very much money. It's hard. I think there's lots of reasons. I should probably do a YouTube video on why I think you musicians don't make that much money. And I don't think it's completely everyone else's fault. I think it's sometimes our fault as creative people. But anyway, that's another video. It is sometimes other people's fault, but it's sometimes our fault. Anyway, Dan, what if you're both like iced tea and body count? Well, there we go. Iced tea is the king of selling out. Good for him. Yeah, I mean, what even is selling out? I mean, just if you're making music and you're having a good time doing it, like and you're making money or you're not making money, who cares, eh? Anyway, I love making music. I feel like it's something I'm always going to do. It'd be great if I could make more money out of it. If like everything just was capped now, I would just continue what I was doing. Or if all the money was taken away, I would just continue what I'm doing. It's like it's that full icing on the cake for me, really. If I can um, financially support myself and my family through what I'm doing, then that's a dream come true. And if I can spend more time on the music, um, then that's even better. So that said, I've mentioned it. I'll mention it for the last time. Sorry, Luke, I'm mentioning it again because I like talking about money. You can do whatever you want with this thing. And I've also got my little thing. I'm just asking a lot of you today. I'm asking you to plan the whole social media strategy and like and subscribe and feel free to donate. I think Dan's probably done all of these things, which is very much appreciated. But anyway, yeah, thank you for joining me this evening, and I hope you have a great week. I am going to go to bed soon because my energy levels are just going. Ugh. It gets us a similar sort of time. Yeah, talking of money, get Colin a coffee on coffee. Go for it. It's there if you want to do it. Genuinely no pressure. But it's one of those like I want to go through the whole video and not mention it. Do you know what I mean? But there you go. He needs to shill his band as we've got bills to pay. There you go. So I think Luke's going to be probably donating tonight. I think, aren't you? But yeah. Anyway, I'm off. Thank you for joining me and keep listening to Witch Hazel and good music. And don't really know what else to say. So see you next week. See you in the week. Have a great week, everyone. Thank you very much. Very much appreciated. Like and subscribe. This little thing here, over here. Make sure you do that if you haven't done already. Thanks a lot.